our legislators have also continued the fight for public sector workers. To prevent a vote in the state Senate, our 14 Wisconsin Democratic state senators fled to Illinois. Without at least one Democratic senator present, the Senate does not have the necessary votes and cannot vote on fiscal matters. They've promised to remain there until it is promised that public employees can keep their collective bargaining rights. The Democratic Assemblymen have also committed to solidarity with one another over this issue. Wearing orange t-shirts on the floor of the state assembly, they delayed the vote for 65 hours, introducing amendments and other speeches, you know, kind of a filibuster in a legislative body that doesn't allow a filibuster. They did their best. They were forced to vote on the issue. And the issue passed with the majority of Republicans in the state assembly. The people of Wisconsin and the world are outraged at the union busting tactics taking place in Madison. The budget repair bill is unnecessary and only serves as a weapon with which to destroy collective bargaining rights for public sector employee members. As much as Governor Walker tries to deny this fact, all one has to do is to look at his campaign contributors from 2010. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Koch brothers up here or not. Sometimes that's mispronounced. Almost all the time when I do it. But Koch sucker, you're right. The Koch brothers gave the second largest contribution to Scott Walker's gubernatorial campaign last year. Surprised? Their PAC donation was the maximum allowed by Wisconsin law, $43,000. Oh, but that's nothing. That's chicken feed. They gave another $1 million to the Republican Governors Association, which until 2010 did not have a PAC. But they spent $5 million then in return on Scott Walker's campaign. Koch Industries has approximately 3,000 employees in the state of Wisconsin, and yes, some of them are my brothers, Local 213, Local 327, Local 148. They all have members that work for Georgia Pacific. Koch brothers bought Georgia Pacific in 2003 for measly, I think, $20.6 billion. These employees represent employees represent workers in coal facilities, timber plants, Georgia Pacific paper mills, and within a large network of oil pipelines within the state. As soon as Walker was elected, Koch Industries opened up a lobbying office in Madison, across the street from the Capitol. How convenient. Another little known article in the bill allows for the sale of public utilities. Not only does it allow for the sale, but it bypasses the Public Service Commission, the constitutional body that is responsible for considering the sale of anything in utilities in the state of Wisconsin. But it transfers that responsibility to the executive branch. And it also calls for no bid. No, my voice left me there. I want to make sure you hear that. No bid contracts. Do you remember a guy, I don't know, the middle initial W maybe, that tried that same thing for about 8 years? You see how that turned out. Walker is on the side of corporate interests, especially those that help fund his campaign. He's not willing to compromise with the union and has refused to sit down and talk to them so far. However, he'll happily take a call from a conservative campaign sponsor. I don't know if you've heard about it up here, but you know, progressive blogger Ian Murphy posing as David Koch himself last week, called Scott. Said, "Hey, Scotty, it's your old buddy David Koch." Walker admitted on the call that he'd be willing to withhold lawmakers' paychecks to get them back, get them to return to Madison, would be willing to trick them in order to get them back for a vote, had thought about planning troublemakers in the crowd of protesters. Now think about that, folks.
How unusual.
On Saturday, my 4-year-old granddaughter, my 10-year-old granddaughter, my 12-year-old granddaughter, my wife, my daughter, my son, and I were amongst those 150,000 people. And he wants to plant troublemakers in the crowd. Oh, and he also said he'd love to come to California on a trip that the Koch brothers would sponsor once the bill's passed. Does that sound like somebody interested in doing what's the best interest of the citizens of Wisconsin? No. Rhetorical question. No, of course not. He's looking out for his big business buddies. With the governor looking out for corporations over people, we need to continue our fight. We can't get complacent. The potential for this type of legislation to become law in other states grows exponentially. We've already seen the rumblings, and we need to join with our brothers and sisters to fight the good fight, no matter how long it takes. We will join with them one day longer. We cannot let this double-coated, triple-plated, 4-ply, 5-faced, phony faker win. So I actually have 2 messages. One day longer and on to victory! Just as I provided John with a copy of our State Fed, the Wisconsin State Fed's General Counsel Matt Robbins' analysis of the bill, and it's available for anybody. John, anybody that wants a copy? The film, again, Art Kroll put that together. He also put together a very moving rap piece by our brother over in Sudbury. He was down there last Saturday and did a terrific job of inspiring our crowd. I hope that anybody that can travel to Madison, Wisconsin will take the opportunity, because I believe that you must see this for yourself. It inspires people. The word's been way overused. It's awesome.
Thank you, brother. We want to accept a small gift from your brother, Steelworkers, brother Stewart, Vice President of the Labor Council, including the book, The Troubled Billionaires, speaking about the Koch brothers, and Rick Shook that represents Canada. Now, Bill Mahoney, can you come up to the front? Bill Mahoney from Steelworkers in Hamilton, please come on up. You're next.